call this meeting to order on this day, Monday, February 23rd, 2015.
It's not fun.
If clerk, can I take you please call the roll for us?
Trustee Ayala?
Maybe I should turn my hearing aid on.
Trustee Cavill?
Here.
Trustee Pace?
Here.
Trustee Wagner?
Here.
President Bullwinkle.
Here. You all please rise for the pledge. I'll lead us in pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All please remain standing for one more second. Trustee Wagner would like to lead us in a prayer time.
Thank you, Madam President. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect the residents, staff, businesses, surrounding communities, and all those that enter the village of Villa Park. And continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
For those of you joining us tonight, we do have agendas that are in the pocket right outside the front door here in the chamber. So if you don't have one already. Item number 3 on the committee of the whole agenda is amendments to the agenda. Anybody on the board have any amendments to the COW? We all good to go? Okay. We're going to move on to item number 4 on the committee of the whole. Discussion only, presentation by Nick Kottmeyer, DuPage County Public Works Director, concerning the Salt Creek Sanitary District. So I see we have our guest, one of our guests here tonight.
Yes, Nick wanted me to go ahead and kick off our county here. And my name is Pete DeCiani. I'm actually one of the members of the County Board of Commissioners that represents District 2, which is fondly representing the village of Villa Park, and I'm proud to be here with our esteemed Mayor Bullwinkle and the whole village board. DuPage County is the second largest county in the state of Illinois, represent almost 1 million people. Many people say, what does a county do? Well, I say we're like a city on steroids. But we have, like you have a police department with probably 50, 60 police officers. We have around 530 sheriff. We have a state's attorney that puts a lot of bad guys in jail. We have a jail, which is the hotel to many of the perpetrators in the county. We also take care of a lot of storm and sanitary issues. And as a former mayor, we appreciate many of the stormwater issues that we have. And I know when I'm representing this town, I know that this is a big issue for your village as well, too. So whenever I get a chance to bring home dollars to Villa Park, we always try to do that. So we've got 2 people here speaking today on behalf of staff, Nick Kottmeyer, and then Chad is going to be Chad Schaefer regarding the Salt Creek Sanitary District. So with that,
actually, if I can just stop you right there, I'd like to toss it over to staff. We do have some background that we'd like to provide first before getting into more of the meat. So if we can, at this point, toss it back over to
Absolutely.
staff, then we'll get the show going.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a pleasure to serve Villa Park.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to kind of just put some background in to this issue and for the residents at home, that some time ago, the village was approached to take a look at a survey from DuPage County, and the survey really involved taking a view, if you would, of the Salt Creek Sanitary Sewer District from several different angles, maybe possibly doing some shared services or taking over the plant, etc. And it's something that staff has not brought up to the board, would be the topic of taking over the sanitary sewer district. That's never been discussed at this level. But what has been discussed is to do monthly billing, to combine billing, and move forward that way. And as I've mentioned in the past to staff, residents, and the board alike, that a lot of folks ask me, why do we have 2 mailboxes out front? Why do we receive 2 bills, one for water, one for sewer, etc.? So to me, personally and professionally, that's the low-hanging fruit, is to go to one monthly bill to save residents some funds, if you would. But there is a study being finalized concerning the Salt Creek Sanitary Sewer District. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the study's paid for through the county and half through the Sanitary Sewer District. And we're a part of that, and also I think Elmhurst is and the county is. And once the survey is finalized, I believe that the study will be finalized, if I'm not mistaken, Your Honor. So that's kind of a broad range background.
A little bit more, there you go. A little bit more background there before we get into the meat of it, so.
That was actually a very good summary. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for having us here. We appreciate it. Once again, I'm Nick Kottmeyer, the Director of Public Works for DuPage County. Chad Schaefer, he's a Policy and Program Administrator for DuPage County. So tonight, we're going to give you a real brief update on the Salt Creek Sanitary District Operations Study that's ongoing. It's my understanding that Village Manager Keener has, a while ago, a couple months ago, supplied our original presentation we made to Salt Creek. I think this one. So I'm going to keep it brief and just some highlights from that presentation. And I have more copies if you'd like them. So a brief overview of how we got to this point right now, and then what our next steps are going to be. So in 2012, the county commissioned Crow Horvath to look at all the agencies that the county has appointment authority over the boards. And one of those is Salt Creek Sanitary District, which is made up primarily of Villa Park residents. So as part of that study, Crow Horvath identified several concerns with the Salt Creek Sanitary District that warranted further attention. These included such things as, increasing annual operating expenses while at the same time having decreasing user revenue on a steady stream, budgeted deficits, a large rate increase planned into the future, a large amount of outstanding debt and loans for an organization of that size. And then, the question of, are the level of reserves sufficient for emergencies or capital needs into the future? And ultimately, there was an overall concern about the long-term financial stability of that organization. However, on a positive front, as a result of that original study with Crow Horvath, several good improvements have been made at the Sanitary District to date, and these included a lot of changes with transparency, accountability that have been implemented since that report, additional internal controls that have also been implemented, so a lot of good things came out of it. It should be noted, though, that as part of the Crow Horvath, as well as subsequent analysis by us, there are no operational concerns at all over there as far as compliance or actually doing what they do day to day, which is treating the wastewater. So as a follow-up to the study, Salt Creek and DuPage County teamed up and hired an outside consultant to look further into the district. And that's where we hired Burke Engineering. Now, the purpose of our study was to determine if any opportunities might exist out there for reducing the charges to the customers, the overall expenses for operations out there. Ultimately, this would benefit the Villa Park residents since they are the main users of that plant. So we're looking at such things as shared services, as we mentioned before, billing, HR, lab services. Is there any opportunity for shared purchasing with other agencies, chemicals, equipment, things like that? And ultimately, should the current organizational structure of the district be maintained or changed? So what can we expect from the study? Well, first of all, what's the current state of operations out there? Where do they sit financially? Are they solid? Are they not? Projected long-term economic viability of their operations. Are they going to be around for the foreseeable future? Identification of any shared service possibilities out there, as well as consolidation or organizational changes. The analysis that we're doing is going to be based on level of service only. And what that means is we're going to look at every single opportunity for what it means to the ratepayers out there. And so it's an apples-to-apples type of comparison. So in summary, we're hoping to identify how we as government agencies, Villa Park, DuPage County, can most effectively serve the customers for the Salt Creek Sanitary District. So what do we need from Villa Park moving forward here? So we would request, I know there's a survey out there, we would request that Villa Park participate in the survey, work with Burke Engineering to get that information. It's key information for us to complete our report. More importantly, we want to hear what your ideas are, what your thoughts are for possible areas of saving money for the residents, how to improve the level of service at a better financial cost for the customers out there. Our goal is to complete a comprehensive report that incorporates all the knowledge and ideas from the different parties that have an interest in this. DuPage County, Villa Park, Salt Creek Sanitary District, and the Elmhurst Wastewater Treatment Plant. So once completed, then once that report's done, we want to sit down with all of the parties together and figure out where to go from there. What are the next steps out there? How do we proceed? Is there an avenue? You know, at the end result could be a recommendation to change nothing. We understand that. It might be simply the incorporation of shared services out there, or it could be changing the operational structure of the Salt Creek Sanitary District. We don't know until we get all the information, and that's where we're at right now, is the data gathering phase. We want to get everything together and then sit down as a group and figure out where we go, what's the long-term best interest of Salt Creek Sanitary District and its customers from there. So it's a real high-level view of kind of what we're going. We don't have the report done, obviously. A critical piece of information is from Villa Park, and we would like to incorporate that and then move on to the completing that study and then figuring out implementation from that point. So I guess at that point, I'll open it up to any questions you might have and go from there.
Trustee Wagner, we'll start out there.
You mentioned the potential for organizational change. Maybe this question might be directed to our attorney. Hypothetically, if there would be a suggestion for organizational change, would this have to come from the General Assembly? Would it have to come from DuPage County? Or would it have to come as a mutual agreement between us, Salt Creek Sanitary District, and the village board?
I agree that would be, best advised to consult with legal counsel. However, it depends what that organizational change was. There was legislation that was passed in 2013, Senate Bill 494, which allows the county some limited authority over appointed units of government. I think it's 11 of them total, where the county board can propose dissolution of an entity and transfer service functions in a limited capacity. So that's one potential, but I think that's kind of getting the cart before the horse here. But absolutely, if organizational changes were desired, that would have to be, how do you get to that organizational change? But certainly a lot remains to be seen in what the report says and its findings.
Myself, personally, I like the idea of having people from our community in charge of an important service to our community. So I don't know what the study's going to say, but if it was going to be, if the Salt Creek Sanitary District was going to be taken over, so to speak, by another entity, I would feel uncomfortable with that. I like the fact that the people that are on the board now, we know we know how to reach them, and if we have a concern, we can talk to them. So that's just my own observation.
Anybody else? Trustee Bolfus.
How many other districts are you looking at, right now?
The Crow-Horvath identified 2 districts that had concerns, Salt Creek and Highland Hills. Those are the 2 that we're looking at.
For sanitary.
For sanitary districts.
There were 24 total agencies.
24
that
fire
Sanitary.
districts and the like,
Yeah, sanitary districts, only 2 of them.
Mosquito districts, fire districts, sanitary, special purpose districts.
So I did some read up on. Does this have to do with the consolidation effort, the ACT initiative from the county chairman?
Well, actually, the original Crow-Horvath report was kind of the push for that. That's by identifying that and identifying possible agencies that had concerns in it. That was kind of the ACT initiative as well as Crow-Horvath kind of happened simultaneously at that point. So yes, in a way, it did come out of the ACT initiative.
Because I was looking over the ACT initiative, and there are some goals in there and the reasons why they're talking about consolidation. And some of them I found kind of, in a way, offensive. Because, assuming that there's redundancy and there'll be money to be saved, and there's a transparency problem, could be transparency problems, ethical problems, And I don't think you're making any look into that or making any assumptions that those are problems in the Salt Creek Sanitary District.
No, as I said, it's a well-run organization from an operational standpoint. We're only looking, I mean, and Crow Horvath looked at a lot of those credit card policies, things like that, and those have been improved. There's been a lot of good improvements. We've worked closely with Salt Creek, and the improvements have been a great number of them. And by no means are we saying that this is going to go to consolidation or not go to consolidation. We don't know. We're saying that we want to have all the information in there and then sit down as a group and figure out where to go. I mean, it very well could be the Salt Creek should stay exactly where it's at, doing what they're doing, but maybe there's some shared billing or some, shared purchasing. We don't know. Our ultimate goal, what will make it the same or better level of service at the cheapest possible price out there for the customers. That's our goal. And that goal might be through shared services, and that's it. That goal might be through consolidation. We don't know. And until we do the study, that's what we figure out. And there might be operational reasons why we can't do consolidation, and we won't know that until we get the report completed and then present it to everybody and figure out what to do from there.
Yeah, those goals I agree with. Those are good goals, the information we need to gather. But if there's any changes with consolidation or anything, I don't see where anything's going to change for the residents of Villa Park. Because it serves just Villa Park.
Absolutely.
If the village of Villa Park runs it, if the county runs it, or if it stays exactly the way it is right now as a district, it's still what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's going to be different. But what I do, to be honest with you, I was reading an article in the Daily Herald from Cronin on the consolidation and the fairgrounds is what the heading is. It was in Daily Herald last month. And when I get to the line where his quote says, he would like to, the deal where the county would take control of Highland Hills and Salt Creek would absorb Villa Park, it sort of gives me the impression like, is this deal's already been cut? Is there something going on here I don't know? So.
I mean, I can tell you without a doubt, I've been involved in the sanitary district side from day one, because obviously as a director of public works, I'm involved in day one. There are no preconceived notions on the Salt Creek and Highland Hills. There's nothing out there. We're strictly in a data gathering. That is the number one priority right now. And at the end result, I mean, obviously, there wants to be everybody wants to see savings if possible. Even if there aren't savings out there, I think that it's been a tremendous success right now with the transparency and accountability and the changes in policy. Even if nothing happens, I think it's been a success right now. Anything else will be a benefit to the residents out there.
And as Nick said, the important thing is getting the study back and then partnering with the other partners on opportunities and really sitting down and exploring them with residents and with the other participants.
Have you talked anything with the village of Elmhurst about, because their plan is right next door to ours, about consolidation or working together maybe,
Absolutely.
Share personnel or anything like that?
You brought up a great point. Elmhurst is part of the picture too. With the proximity of their wastewater treatment plant, there might be a real possibility for shared services there. And to me, this one involves Salt Creek, DuPage County, Elmhurst, and Villa Park. Those are the four that need to work together once all the results come in to figure out what's the line, where are we moving from there. And I think that everybody sitting around a table, once that report is done, is going to be key. And really, like I said before, it comes down to what will the residents pay, assuming the same exact or better level of service. But level of service is pretty high right now. No doubt about it. It's just a matter of, is there a more cost-effective approach out there?
Yeah, I'm all favor if we can work out something with neighboring communities to share buying chemicals or whatever else we need.
Absolutely.
The more you put together, the better prices you can get. So.
And to that end, I mean, a little bit off topic, I mean, a lot of the different wastewater agencies out there are looking at, combining their purchasing ability for chemicals, because we're all using the same type of chemicals in plants. Things like that are what we mentioned, the low-hanging fruit before. There's low-hanging fruit out there, and I think it would be to everybody's benefit if we can identify the low-hanging fruit and be able to move on that. As far as billing, I mean, like you said, you got joint billing here. Is there a way to do that so there's only one bill going to the residents? Things like that are what we want, and you guys know this area better than anybody. Obviously, they're your residents. You know what the concerns, complaints, everything, so we're really looking for ideas from you guys to help us as part of that survey. What are ideas? What have you seen? You've seen it. You guys have been here for a lot of years, so you know this area. You know what the ups and downs of Salt Creek area is what would be good for the organization. And that's what we want to hear as part of the survey.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you coming here talking to us, because, there's a lot of rumors flying around all the time, and you hear, oh boy, the county's going to take it over, we're going to take the sanitary district and make Villa Park take it, and that, and I'm glad you're here to, explain what you're working on.
Absolutely.
So some of those rumors out there aren't true, but
On the elected side too, after we get the data and we mutually come up with, whether it's joint purchasing or shared services, intergovernmental cooperation, whatever it might be, we're looking to hear from you, and as your representative, I will take your lead. So if you say, hey, we don't want to consolidate, and we want to stay independent, and we just want to take advantage of shared services, joint purchasing, intergovernmental cooperation, that's what you're going to get out of your representative in a vote. I can say, for instance, with paper fire districts, I know I was frustrated often as a mayor, where we would often collect less out of an unincorporated area, but still serve them. Well, with this initiative, we've actually dealt with this issue in Downers Grove, which was actually collecting less out of an unincorporated area by the Downers Grove Fire Department. So the village was collecting less in dollars from their own than they were getting from their own residents, which was challenging for residents that are incorporated. So we were able to, through an SSA, get them to pay more to the municipality that was serving them. So we actually, was able to get the top rate that their regular residents were paying. And the county took nothing over. We just gave them the tool of an SSA along with the village to collect the proper rate. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes there's tax caps involved with some of these paper districts. So sometimes we're an equalizer too for the municipality, and it can help you collect what you should be collecting in fees and rates, et cetera. So without having to take them over from the county, because again, as a former mayor, I understand the value in local government and protecting those rights and perspectives as well. So again, we'll take your lead once we collect the data, and I'll represent you with your final vote as to what you want to do. So, okay?
well, I'm glad you're here tonight, because
Absolutely.
We talked a little about consolidation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in favor of changing anything at the sanitary district, but for years I've always been saying, you want to consolidate the fire departments, I'm on board.
Sure.
And the chief's heard this from me before, so has the staff.
Right.
So that mosquito abatement, fine, that makes sense to me. But a district like Salt Creek, who just services Villa Park only, doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
So.
Understand.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
So now you got my input. You want it?
Yeah, the trick
If you
will
need
be-
any help with consolidating our fire districts, let me know. I'll be glad to help.
The trick will definitely be, coming to a happy medium, and there's a lot of players involved with this. This is a moving target right
Absolutely.
now, so you want to make sure that we're very clear and everybody feels comfortable at the table when we finally come to some sort of conclusion, because this has been floating around there for a while. Trustee Taglia.
Well, I want to say thank you for coming out as well. And I'm a big believer in performance assessments. It's something we did here in Villa Park. There's always something you're doing that costs too much. And even at the village level, I know our managers implemented most of the corrections that were suggested by the people who did our assessment. And it has saved us thousands and thousands of operating dollars. So I'm sure when the report comes back, there are going to be things in there that are obviously fixable. So I appreciate your guys' effort and your time. And I appreciate you coming out, Pete. Thanks for representing Villa Park on District 2. So.
Two small things if I could add. One, I think it's important to realize Salt Creek actually is splitting the cost of this study with us. So they are absolutely on board to figure out how to improve their operations as well, which is a great sign. The fact that they're coming to the table saying, okay, what can we do to improve, financially to do that. So that's very admirable that they're doing that. And second of all, the survey that's out there that Burke transmitted to everybody, as you guys move forward, if you guys do fill it out, if you guys have any questions, I'd be more than willing to make Burke available to come meet with your staff to work through, because I know some of the questions may apply, may not apply. So, if you guys want Burke here, we can definitely have them work with you to go through that.
Great. Anybody else? Report? Anybody else? No? You good?
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We appreciate your time and speaking on a topic that's been floating around, like I said, for quite a while. So I'm confident we'll come to some sort of conclusion. It's going to take a little longer, so. All right, great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
then, is it the board's desire that I complete the survey and get it off our plate?
Would the board then like to complete the survey?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what the manager is
I
in
would.
my ear, so.
Okay.
Yep, all right. Wasn't sure how many still had to do that or what the deal was, but works for me. Okay, everybody else good? Anything else before we move on? All righty then. Okay, we're gonna move on to item number 5 on the committee of the whole. Consider resolution in the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing acceptance of a proposal from Westside Tractor Sales of Naperville, Illinois, and waiving the requirement of competitive bidding. Manager Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. The Public Works Department proposes to purchase a new asphalt roller, Your Honor. Currently, the village owns a 1983 Bomag model BW 120AD2 roller. It is identified for replacement in the vehicle replacement schedule. Village staff requests authorization to purchase one 2015 Bomag model BW 120AD5 roller from Westside Tractor Sales of Naperville, Illinois, for a total amount of $40,800. There are sufficient funds available in the Street Improvement Fund, number 60-502-10-401 for this purchase. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Any questions and comments from the public in regards to this item? Come on up. How are you?
I'm good.
You can adjust that mic if you need to.
Cheryl Tucker,
Yes.
344 South Cornell. My question to the board in general is, in the 2000-2015 budget, why did you decide to approve this line item in the Streets Improvement Fund instead of the Equipment Replacement Fund? Was there a comparative study done in 2014 when it was put in the budget to decide to do this, or was there a need then? Before you make a decision on there, the no bids being done, is it really beneficial to us not to do bids and get the best deal on it, to just take one thing? If there's no comparison done, how do we know we're getting the best deal? Couldn't we use the state joint public purchasing program or the joint bidding program with other municipalities to get a better deal? As you said, there's sufficient funds. According to that line item, it's $800 short from what you bidded last year and approved for that thing, so it's $800 short, so there will be a shortfall. Will that be coming out of the general fund or the capital project fund? Or is it maybe something that you were considering being part of the 2015-2016 budget to cover that shortfall? One more thing is, my understanding of it is that you use that fund, I thought that fund for Street Improvement Fund was for road construction and resurfacing projects. How does this come in effect to be part of that instead of the equipment fund?
We have a multi-layer question there. And yes, the Public Works Department did quite a bit of research on this. I'm sure, I don't see anybody. Oh, would you like to come up and, so I know you've done some research on this. So. Good questions there. Multi-layer questions. So, yep, we'll get to as many as we can. Yes. Rich Salerno, Public
Yes.
Works.
Good evening. To answer, yes, a few of the questions. First, I think foremost, we did look at joint purchasing. And actually, what happened with the purchase here is that through the cooperative purchasing of HGAC Buy, they offered a 20% discount. And above that 20% discount, the local vendor who was going to be supplying the piece of equipment to us went above that 20% discount and put another approximately 2.3% discount above that. So that's the purpose of why we're actually requesting to waive the competitive bid pricing. So we are getting actually a better price than a cooperative or joint. I'm done.
Yes, you can keep going.
My
That's
3
really
minutes are
loud
up.
tonight. Wow.
So for the purchasing, yes, we always do look at the best possible price out there. We just don't go by a sole source. So in this case, how I said, we did look at state purchasing, and then we went through, how I said, HGAC purchasing, which I thought 20% was a substantial amount, and then the local vendor to come up with another 2.3%. The other question regarding why it's taken out of the street improvement fund, there are numerous items that are completed out of that fund. We purchase asphalt. In the past, we have purchased the hot box. Also equipment in this case here, because that's done for in-house services of our street improvements. Patching is a primary concern. So with a 32-year-old piece of equipment, it's been identified to be replaced. I mean, it's almost identical, but just a newer unit. How I said, the street improvement fund, those are some items that have been removed from the past. That the hot box, a couple of years ago, that was purchased out of there. Asphalt, also labor as well. So village staff for working on streets specifically.
Understand you correctly. If it
No,
has
really
anything
quick.
to do with streets, you can buy equipment out of that fund for street improvement.
In-house services, meaning village staff, that are working on patching permanent repairs to streets. Not temporary repairs, we're looking at permanent repairs or in addition to contracts that are let. Yes.
Okay. That's what you're saying is, so if it has to do with any street improvement, then you could get the equipment under that same budget, is what you're saying.
In this particular case, it's a piece of equipment that's identified strictly for street patching and improvements.
It's still a piece of you still didn't answer my question why it's not, you're using the street fund instead of the equipment replacement.
I mean, that's been a funding
Just
system.
because it's been done before doesn't
Not because
answer
it's
my
done
question.
before.
that's not what he said.
It's identified solely as street improvements. They're,
So if it's identified as street improvement, then you can use equipment out of that budget for street improvement.
this is one particular piece of equipment that's sole purpose is for street patching, street improvements, permanent repairs to help the infrastructure of the village. That's why.
The other question
Oh,
is, why do we need
Cheryl.
2015?
Yeah, we're
2015 equipment rather than a semi-used one? Is there a reason we have to get the brand new equipment over maybe something that is slightly used?
In this case here, I think 32 years of service pretty much talks for itself, that with a new piece of equipment, we do in-house maintenance, it's properly taken care of, and for any piece of equipment for the last 32 years, buying it new, we take care of it from day one.
There's probably there's a warranty and
Oh, there's
other-
absolutely a
yeah,
warranty.
so it's the longevity of it. So, but 32 years is pretty good to get some life out of that piece of equipment. So. And residents want us to keep up to date on our equipment, and that's what we're trying to do. So, you have anything else to add before?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. Anybody else from the public? Anybody? Okay. How about the board here? Okay, Trustee Bolfus.
Two things. I used to deal with municipalities in my business, and a lot of them had purchases through the state. When they came in by me, I always thought, forget about that. Put that state thing away. I'll sell it to you at the same price or less. So, and secondly is on this roller, having done work on rollers and Bomag rollers, I wouldn't buy one of these used. Those things get the heck beat out of them. So they're heavy, big, heavy pieces of equipment, but they're not. The guys don't well maintain those. So the village would, villages do, but regular customers, regular contractors, no. So that's all I got.
Thank you. One of our priorities is the streets, Last 2 years, it's always been really talking about it here is what can we do to make our streets the best they can be. We got the referendum done. Now we're making an investment in equipment as funds are available. So, anybody else?
I'd like to
Trustee
say something.
Tagliaferro.
I'd like to thank the Public Works Director and his staff, Rich Salerno, You guys did a really good job on finding this piece of equipment at a really good deal. And it's something we all know we need, and I'm just happy the village was able to get it at a good price. So, good job. Thanks, Rich.
Good. Anybody else? Okay. Investment in Villa Park. Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Item number 6 on the Committee of the Whole. Consider resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing an engineering services agreement between the Village of Villa Park and Baxter and Woodman Consulting Engineers for the North Princeton Water Main Improvement Project. Manager Keenan.
Thank you, Anna. The village's water master plan calls for the replacement of the water main on Princeton Avenue between Terrace Street and Ridge Road. The estimated design cost of the project is $30,300. Baxter and Woodman has submitted a proposed engineering services agreement to provide Phase 2 design engineering services for these improvements at a cost not to exceed $30,300. There are sufficient funds in the water supply fund to cover these costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Any questions or comments from the public in regards to this item? Okay. How about the board? Anything from the board? No? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Item number 7 on the Committee of the Whole. Consider resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing the execution of a real estate contract for the purchase of 404 North Ellsworth Avenue, Villa Park, Illinois. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. This resolution will allow the Village of Villa Park to contract with the Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation for the purchase of 404 North Ellsworth Avenue for the sum of $26,900 and authorizing the appropriation of said funds for the purchase. The property can be used for drainage, urban garden area, and possibly parking. This purchase will eliminate a deteriorated single-family residence and improves the quality of life for the neighborhood and the village. The deteriorated home will be demolished and the well capped after the commencement of the May 1st, 2015 fiscal year. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Any questions and comments from the public in regards to this item? Okay. Questions and comments from the board? Trustee Taglia.
And I'd like to thank the village manager and the staff. They put in a lot of hard work to get this done, and it's something that I really appreciate as a resident. I know it'll really help that area, so thank you for getting this done, Rich. That's it.
Thank you. Anybody else on the board? Just echoing the same thing. This has been not only an eyesore, but an issue for a lot of reasons for a lot of years. You know, our police have spent a lot of time out there. Our fire department has spent a lot of time out there. We've received a number of resident complaints about this particular property, so this is a long time in coming. This is good news. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Roll call vote.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Item number 8, Committee of the Whole. Consider resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, adopting the municipal legislative priorities of the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference for the 2015 legislative session. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. This resolution formally adopts the annual legislative action program developed by the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference, otherwise known as DMMC, with the goal of providing a comprehensive platform on legislative issues. Villa Park is a member of the DMMC, and this program is designed to establish positions on legislative issues in order to provide clear direction for elected officials and employees. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Any questions or comments from the public in regards to this item? Okay. How about the board? No? Okay. We'll have I think we have a copy of this up on our village website?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you will.
Goes through a variety of different things, different headings, revenue and taxation, personnel and labor, municipal authority, and airport development and regulations as well. So I'm in favor of some of the items, not all, but overall, it was a good document. So, all right, roll call vote.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Okay, we're going to convene to the formal agenda now. Okay, just some paper shuffle in here. Item number 1 is Village President's Report. Just want to remind everybody that we have the State of the Village Address coming up this Thursday, February 26th, 6:30 at Willowbrook High School in the auditorium. Be an opportunity to check in with you, our first town hall meeting, if you will, of 2015, to kind of review with you what's been going on, what's coming up. Lots going on in Villa Park, so we're looking forward to having this meeting with you. We hope that you can join us again on Thursday, February 26th, 6:30 at Willowbrook High School. Also want to just give a reminder of Coffee with the Board is scheduled for Saturday, March 7th, 9 a.m. here at Village Hall. It's coming up. Our next meeting won't be until after that, so we'll make a note of that. Also just wanted to give a reminder that there are various food pantries in Villa Park and our surrounding area that are always looking for help, donations of monetary donations or food donations. Harvard Avenue Evangelical Free Church, as well as, and they're located, let's see, well, I've got a phone number here. They're on St. Charles Road. Their phone number is 630-834-2650, and the Disciples Food Pantry on South Villa, 630-833-7262. If you'd like to give either one of those food pantries a jingle, if you have not only time to spare, if you'd like to volunteer, but also if you wish to donate, they would certainly appreciate it. There's a lot of people in need, not just around the holidays, so just want to keep that out there. Also, just wanted to just briefly mention that I was in Springfield last week. I attended the budget address. There was a lot of media around the budget address, and there are certainly some concerns on the local level that we're working through in regards to the Local Government Distributive Fund, LDGF. If you hear us talk about that in the acronym terms, that's what that is. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like at the end when the budget is shored up on the state level, but there's certainly a lot of talk and a lot of work going on now to streamline the budget. You know, the state budget is in trouble, and so they're looking at every single way to figure out a way to pinch the pennies and balance the budget on the state level. So there's a number of local organizations and municipalities that are looking at this issue, the Local Government Distributive Fund, very carefully. And there's been a lot of numbers tossed around in terms of how much the cuts might mean to Villa Park. We don't know what that number is going to look like yet. There's a lot of numbers being thrown on the wall right now. So until we really know what that means, we're going to plan accordingly. But there's probably going to be some cut, some sort, some level, and we'll just deal with it when that time comes. So we should know more anywhere between May 31st and July 1st. It's kind of the timeline that we've been told, where we'll probably know a little bit more. But spent time meeting with legislators. I was down there with DuPage mayors and managers, just conveying concerns and just having some FaceTime with our local legislators. So it was busy, but times are tense, but I think we'll end up landing somewhere. We just don't know where it's going to be yet. So I wanted to let you know we're watching that really closely. With that, that's all I have in my President's report. So I'm going to move on to item number 2, which is public comments on agenda items. This is in regards to items 4 and 5 on our agenda here. So if anybody has anything on your mind in regards to agenda items on the formal, now's the time. 4 and 5. Otherwise, we're going to move on. Nope. Okay, I don't see anybody storming the podium. So you can talk about non-agenda items on item number 6 on this agenda if you have anything on your mind in regards to non-agenda items. So. Okay, I'm going to move on to item number 3, amendments of the agenda. This will be for the formal. Does anybody on the board have any amendments they'd like to make to the formal agenda? No? Pretty quick and simple. Alrighty. We'll move on to item number 4, the consent agenda, items A through G. I'm just going to read the headings for the record. A, bill listing dated February 23rd, 2015 in the amount of $830,540.33. B, minutes from Village COW meeting for February 9th, 2015. C, minutes from the Village formal board meeting for February 9th, 2015. D, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing acceptance of a proposal from Westside Tractor Sales of Naperville, Illinois, and waiving the requirement of competitive bidding. E, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing an engineering services agreement between the Village of Villa Park and Baxter & Woodman Consulting Engineers for the North Princeton Water Main Improvement Project. F, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing the execution of a real estate contract for the purchase of 404 North Ellsworth Avenue in Villa Park, Illinois. G, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, adopting the municipal legislative priorities of the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference for the 2015 legislative session. I have a motion on the consent agenda.
Madam President,
Trustee Taglia.
I'll move for the consent agenda.
Do I have a second? Trustee Wagner.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any other questions or comments? No? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Okay, item number 5, first and final reading of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the rezoning to the C2 Neighborhood Business District of the property located at 704 North Addison Avenue. Petitioner is seeking rezoning of a .26 acre parcel at 704 North Addison Road from C1 Convenience Business District to C2 Neighborhood Business District. The Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval, and staff supports the rezoning. The motion on item number 5?
Madam President?
Trustee Wolf?
So moved.
Okay, for the second?
Madam President.
Trustee Case?
Second.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the board in regards to this matter? I just have one for the staff. You could just clarify what the purpose of this is for, why they're asking to do this.
Actually, we do have, I'm not sure, Your Honor, if folks have looked at their plat of survey, which shows the site on next to Ridge and Addison Avenue. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a veterinarian, I believe, that would like to move into the area.
Okay.
And that's why the rezoning is being requested,
Okay.
which is a great addition for this particular thoroughfare.
Yes. It is. Right, yes, they want to expand, so that's good. They want to stay. I believe they're an existing business in Villa Park, too, so they want to
correct.
stay in Villa Park. They're just expanding. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Okay, item number 6. This is public comments on non-agenda items. If anybody has anything on their mind in regards to non-agenda, this is your opportunity to come up. 3 minutes. Okay. Come on up. State your name for the record.
My name is Oscar Fiorenzo. I'm the owner of Villa Park Auto Clinic and Elmhurst Auto Clinic in Elmhurst.
Okay, we'll need you to autograph. There should be a piece of paper there for you to sign your name to. You can do it now or after you're done, but you get 3 minutes. So, thank you for signing.
The reason why I'm here is I want to make myself aware of a public meeting. It's the first time I've ever been involved in one. Approximately about 5 years ago, we purchased a piece of property called the Travel Cottage at 295 East St. Charles Road, next to our building. The reason why we did it, because that particular building was blocking the view of our business. And so we felt once it became available that we were forced to buy it, and luckily we did, although we paid 3 times the amount that we should have. And in the meantime, the business improved about 20%. But now it's a chokehold. We pay the taxes. If you looked at our property, that vacant lot, it's manicured. There isn't a dandelion on the property. And that's exactly where we keep our business. Every year we paint our building. Every year we do as much as we can to improve the building. And every day we wash the floors inside the bays, and we wash the floors and wax the floors at night inside of our showroom. So if you visit our place, you can see yourself on the floor, as far as a mirror. We want to sell cars, but in a very small amount. Our position, in doing that would be is that we would put a wrought iron fence around the property. We wouldn't want a sign, as far as a BOCA sign or a sign, period. Put brick pavers in there and keep about 5 or 6 cars. The reason why we want to do that is because our customers are constantly asking us if we know of any cars, used cars for sale. because they believe in us and they also know the quality of service that we give our customers. We warranty our work for 1 year or 12,000 miles at any work that we do, where dealers don't even do that. And also electronic parts, we offer the same warranty. And dealers, as soon as you break a seal, an electronic part, they don't cover it. So our value as far as our customer is concerned is to satisfy our customer. We don't do any advertising. Once in a while we'll put an ad in Independent on the back page. But other than that, it's all been word of mouth. This has been going on for 13 years. Our reputation kind of speaks for itself. You know, we want to put cars in there, but in a very small amount. And we wouldn't put junk, in there. But we want to do enough that we can pay the taxes, on the property and get some type of value out of that property, because right now it's so small. But real quick, it's so small, it prohibits anything to be built on the property. With the setbacks and everything else that the village wants, and also the back part of the property is setbacks that they want, the maximum you can put on there is a 2,000 square foot building, and you won't even have 9 parking spaces, because that's what the village wants, 9 parking spaces. So, we're choking with the property. So we're seeking some help. And I want to come back and see when you're doing the rezoning, be aware of it, so I can speak again to the zoning board. But again, we're a valuable asset to the community. We keep our place in superb condition versus the other properties that are around there with bullet holes in the windows, which there is, and it seems like it's just there, weeds growing up everywhere. And the guy right across the street with paper in the windows. That's been going on for 3 years now that we know of. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else on non-agenda items? Okay, move on to village clerk's report. Anything for us tonight?
No report tonight, thank
Okay.
you.
Village trustees report. I'll start to my right. Trustee Bolfus, do you have anything?
Nothing tonight.
Okay. Trustee Taglia.
Yeah, just a couple quick things. Now that Lent is upon us, keep in mind the VFW Friday night fish fries. So come out and support your vets. Also, a little bit advance notice on March 21st. It's a Saturday, 5:30 to 8:30. Villa Park Boy Scout Troop 242 will be having their spaghetti dinner at the VFW. There'll be future announcements about that, but that's it for now.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing.
Okay. Trustee Wagner.
Thank
All
you,
by
Madam
yourself
President.
down there again tonight.
Yep. Just a couple things. I mentioned this at a prior meeting, but I want to mention this again. The library, the Villa Park Library, is creating a seed library, and they're offering 2 classes for people who are interested in participating in this. And I went through both classes. It was very interesting. If you're a wannabe gardener, or if you want to learn more about the biology of plant propagation, seed collection, it's really interesting. I would highly encourage it. The presenter is really good. So if folks are interested in it, there's the first class, if you will, is this coming Wednesday, February 25th, from 6:30 to 8:30, and then Wednesday, March 11th for the second class, 6:30 to 8:30. And it's kudos to the library. It's an excellent program, and encourage people to take advantage of it. And I want to mention this is a conflict with our State of the Village program, but the Environmental Concerns Commission has their meeting this coming Thursday at 7:15 here at Village Hall.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Okay, great. Thank you. Village manager's report.
Thank you, Andrew. I just have a couple items. Wanted to let the board and public know that the sidewalk snow removal proposals will come to the board on the March 9th COW for discussion. The Ardmore school traffic study, the draft report will be also on the March 9th Committee of the Whole for discussion and presentation. And I believe everyone hopefully picked up their budget. It's in 2 different binders this year. It was pretty large, so the CIP is in the smaller binder with the blue and the green line, and the larger part is the draft budget with the green and the blue line. And it's in a different format this year. I think it's quite an improvement. I enjoyed going through it. I know that Director Wattell and his staff really enjoyed putting it together and did a fantastic job, so appreciate that. And the budget process, just as a reminder, so Wednesday, March 4th, there'll be a budget workshop here in the chambers. And Monday, March 9th, during the Committee of the Whole, we'll have a budget presentation then. Wednesday, March 11th, if needed, we'll have a budget workshop in the chambers, and so forth and so on. Monday, March 23rd, 7:15, we'll have the board public hearing here, and then Monday, 3/23, March 23rd at 7:30, be the budget discussion and 5-year capital improvement plan. And then also Monday, 3/23, the board will discuss the budget and capital improvement plan and actually have hopefully a consensus to move it forward with the first reading of the budget approval that night too, March 23rd. And then Monday, April 13th, will be the second reading of the budget for approval and adoption of the 5-year improvement capital improvement program. And then after that, it'll be on to the county to file the document itself. So thank you, Your Honor. With that, I pass this evening.
Village Attorney?
No report.
Okay. This leaves us at adjournment. Motion to adjourn?
Madam President, move to adjourn.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Our next meeting will be on Monday, March 9th, 2015, here at Village Hall. Thank you, Villa Park.
Good.